Soul Tribe, welcome back. It is Friday. It feels good to be in Southern California because my sister is back in Southern California. I feel her energy. I haven't seen her yet, but I could just feel her energy. And when the two Wonder Twins get together in person, amazing things happen 1,000%. This is going to be a little bit of a different show tonight. This is going to be the Soldiers of Light. Jason Ramirez, the Soldier of Light, my commander, reporting for duty, and then of course myself hosting. So no super chat questions tonight. We're not going to pull any cards. Tonight's show is going to be about healing. It's going to be about raising your vibrations. It's going to be like a spiritual journey. It's going to be like an open book. So guys, go ahead and send your questions in to either myself or Jason Ramirez. The journey that has come to pass for us to connect and come together has been nothing short of amazing. And I am so glad to have Jason Ramirez back on the show. He and I are going to rock the house tonight. Kristen, I got this. I got this. I'll fly the plane. I'll land it. I'll make sure nothing happens to the show. Entertainment purposes only, but not really. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, brother. How are you doing, man?
Man, like I said, like we were talking a little bit before the show, and my heart feels so good. I don't know what it is. My heart feels good. My mind is clear. I'm focused. I'm getting the goosebumps, and I just feel the energy from our soul tribe. I don't know what's happening. I think I know what's happening, but the process, I've never felt like this before. I've never felt like this before, and it feels amazing.
Yeah, when you're not used to feeling that way, man, it can you feel so blessed when you feel that way. You feel the love, you feel the energy flow through you, and dude, your aura is it's so bright today. I can see the aura. The moment I came on and saw you, that was the first thing I told him is your aura is bright today, and I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it around you. So it tells me that you've been focusing on the things that we've been talking about, working on yourself, forgiving others that you need to forgive. And that's a huge part of this process. Those are things that I've had to do. I've had a lot of battles myself throughout my time, and it's been a work in progress for me. I've had a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of things that just caused me, unnecessary worry that after I found out or put it behind me, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was at the time. So it's amazing to see that you're growing into that. And dude, when you get to that point, that you're gonna just explode. I just see this an explosion of just light and amazingness for you, man. I see it. Same thing for your sis. Your sis is coming out of her cocoon, and you're coming out of your cocoon, and all these beautiful soul tribe members are coming out of their cocoons, man. And we're butterflies. We're beautiful butterflies now. We're flying around this rainbow world that we're going to create.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Beautifully said, Jason Ramirez. And like we did my first session, my first healing session was with you. It was on Saturday. It seems like it had been such a long time ago. It feels like it's been more than it hasn't even been a week. But the strategies and just that one session, we're going to do a weekly session. I already told you, we're doing a weekly session, 1,000%. Just from that time alone and just the different strategies that you've told me, I think a lot of time, and this I'm just speaking for myself, people kept on saying you need to heal because of I'm just gonna be open about it, my divorce, and you need to heal. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I was good with it. I was happy that I left, love and light to that situation, but I was happy that I left. Why do I need to heal? And then a lot of things came undone, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, where do I go? Now I know I need to heal, but where do I go? What do I do? I have no idea. So then Kristen and I, like, let's just do a show. Okay, all right, we'll go live. We'll do a show. We'll call it the Soul Tribe. But then still, it's not like I wasn't doing that inner work. And there were still triggers. There are still triggers that were getting to me until the universe, the creator, brought in Jay the Rockstar Rocco, yourself, along with my sister. And ever since that time, like it's just been so fast. It's just been my whole like a transformation. Now I was using that negative energy that I had throughout my divorce, and I needed to transmute that energy. And I've told this story a couple of times. I'll just briefly touch on it again. I said I needed to transform and use that energy, that negative energy, and turn it into something positive. And that's how the show was created. And I thought maybe we'll stop there, but no, it hasn't stopped there. I want to share your YouTube really quick, guys. You have to follow Jason Ramirez on YouTube. It is Soldier of Light 786 right there. We need to get his subscribers up. We need to get him up 1,000%. Guys, you have to follow him. He did a beautiful message this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste. This is the link to his YouTube channel right inside that chat box. So guys, go ahead and follow the Soldier of Light. You won't be disappointed. Beautiful soul. What I was getting back to is like, I think a lot of people don't understand. They might need healing, like they know they need healing, but I had no idea where to go or what to do. Like, kind of explain, kind of, Jason, if you can, kind of like some strategies or like different types of areas in which people like avenues and they can go out and heal, because a lot of people need healing, but maybe they don't know where to go.
Yeah. Well, usually what I just tell people that I work with even after our session, or even during our session, mainly after though, I tell them, there's different things. Every person has their own set of I want to say the word I'm looking for. They have a certain set of things that they do for their praying, or they give thanks to whoever that they pray to, or they give thanks to the higher divine. So every person has their own way of doing it, and there's no right or wrong way to do anything. So when I suggest people, I do crystals, and Harley Race does some great crystals, and I'll also, she sent me a beautiful smoky quartz as well, and plus some other awesome stuff, plus my nice bracelet that I have too. So that's a good thing. Because the crystals hold energy. So what I tell people, if they have energy, or if they have crystals, I always say, people say charge them in the moonlight. I charge mine both in the sun and the moon, because I like the feminine and the masculine. I like to have the balance, because we all have divine feminine and divine masculine in us. And what we haven't done enough of, because we haven't been taught to take care of ourselves since we were kids.
Right.
That's just how we forgot how to take care of ourselves. We're so used to when we say we take care of ourselves, but are we really taking care of ourselves? We're taking care of ourselves in order to look a certain way around the people around you, is what I feel in general. And I can say that 100% for myself as well. It's like, well, how am I doing this? Or how do I feel around this person? Do I look good enough for this person? Do I not look good? How would this person think of me? And that's all just insecurities and things that we've been taught for many generations, that there's no equality, and we are all equal. And that's what people realize, is they want to divide. So we forget how to love ourselves, to tie back what we're saying. So the first thing I would say is, I tell people all the time, is there's always hurt. Most of us have had some hurt in our life, if not all of us at some point, physically, financially. Somebody hurt you, where you might have hurt someone else, whatever the situation may be. So what I tell people, when they start to look inside, even if you don't have crystals or anything like that, you can actually just take a walk, even a simple walk, or just a few minutes to just kind of calm your mind. And what I mean is, you have all this energy spread out. Is when I do my energy healings, you have all this energy spread around you that you've put out into the universe. And what I have people do is start to pull that energy back in through their top of their crown, through their root of their feet, and through their heart. So we have 3 points of contact with energy that we come through. So it's kind of that visualization in your mind where you can do that. You can pull some of your energy back into your heart as you walk, as you just take a quiet minute to yourself. And what you start to do is bring that energy back. It's your energy, and you've given it freely to people and to things around you, sometimes unbeknownst to yourself, and you just freely give it. And sometimes you need to take that energy back. And that's why loving yourself, learning how to forgive things that have hurt you, forgive people that have hurt you, forgive yourself for hurting others, or things that have happened to you in the past. And what we do is, because when we continue to bring that past and those hurts into our present, it is like it's happening right now. So we need to self-love, and by self-loving we can build, and our spirituality and our vibrations rise as we love ourselves, and we forgive, and we set those things behind us that no longer serve us purpose, and we shut that door behind us, and don't let it flap open, or just keep pushing itself open and tapping you on the shoulder. I'm still here, pay attention, I'm still here, don't forget about the bad things that happened to you. And some people like to do that, and I'm going to call Jay out for this specific thing. Is he used to have this scenario where he would revisit these events in his life, and he called it his file cabinet in his office. And he would pull the file cabinet open, and he would review these things, because he said, this is what's made me who I am today, which is absolutely 100% correct. It's giving you the calluses that you need. It's giving you the foundation to build on for the future. But by pulling that file cabinet out and pulling those traumatic events and those hurtful things that have happened to you, that have given you those calluses, you're reliving it in the present. So when we finally got to the point where we shut that file cabinet, we shut the door to the office, we locked the key, and we threw the key away. That's where I feel like for him, I told him, once you do that, your spirituality and these gifts that you have are going to start to open. And that's kind of what we talked about. And this is just in general for anybody, as that you asked me the question. Is same thing with Jason, is once we forgive, because we hold on to so many things, so much, and sometimes not even our own traumas. We hold on traumas for other people and things that we've been in contact with, our relatives, our friends, and the bad things that have happened to them. We take that energy on as well, and we don't do a good enough job energetically of severing those ties off, severing them off, because they don't belong to you, and taking your energy back. So that's where I feel it starts. You don't have to have any specific ritual. You don't have to go into a building, a simple walk by the water, or walk down your street, just out of your ordinary area that you either at work or home or whatever the situation is. And just, go start to pull that energy back in and start to love yourself, and you will heal. And those negative thoughts, you as soon as they come into your mind, you address it, you acknowledge it, you forgive it, you send it away with love. And eventually those thoughts that keep coming back to your mind like a hamster wheel will slowly start to slip away and won't come back into your reality. So that's kind of the basis of what I can tell people in general. It starts with you, and you're the powerful being that is. We have superpowers, and we're going to learn that as we're going through this journey. And we're all superheroes for a reason. So believe you are, and you will be one.
I absolutely love it, Jason. And that's a perfect kind of segue into what I wanted to talk about next. And when we had Ishmael on the very first time, that was on Father's Day. And that was like our first interview, Chris and I, and we're talking about the God gene and how the AI, entertainment purposes only, how they want to take that God gene away from us. Like we are the anointed ones, like we are the chosen ones, like we
Sure.
have that God gene. And we were talking a little bit before. I don't want to jump the gun, but I have some new affirmations that I was working on, and of me going back to my roots, because there had been many, many years where you get stuck in the rat race. You just go to work, you make the money, you pay your bills, and you do it all over again. And you go to work, you come home, do it all over again, and you forget to take care of yourself. So these are my new affirmations. I went back to my roots, and I was doing a lot of praying while I was at the beach last Sunday, listening to my worship music, songs that spoke to me during my times of darkness. Full disclosure, when Kristen had left, I think it was back in 2008 or 2009, she left to New York or to Pennsylvania, and I was heartbroken. I really was. I know you're watching, Kristen. I know we've talked about this. That was really heartbreaking for me to lose my twin. That was my sister, and like we were so close because we're so close in age, but we went through so much together. To lose that piece of me was devastating. However, from that devastation, I was reborn again. I was a Sunday school teacher for 7 years. I'm going back to my roots. I went to Cal Baptist. I went to Azusa Pacific. I mean, I know everyone has their own ways, but that was really my cores, is through him, the creator. And these are my new affirmations. My new affirmations are, I am righteousness. It is true. We are righteousness. We are his, the creator. We have the God gene. We are righteousness. So I am righteousness. I am free. I am no longer bound to others people's energy. I'm no longer bound to those failures and those negative comments, or all like the naysayers, or all of those people that try to bring you down. I am no longer tied to that. I am free. I am alive. We are alive. We are not sleeping. Our eyes are open. Our minds are open. Our hearts are open. I am alive. And then lastly, I am activated. I am activated through him. We are connected. Now we are now calling all of our soul tribe members. We need to be activated. And that's what this time is, right here, right now. This season of change is for us to become activated. So those are my new affirmations last night while I was praying. I am righteousness. I am free. I am alive. And I am activated 1,000%.
Awesome, man. Dude, I kind of say something similar to that, like on my webpage and things, and it's, I am the light, or I am the light, I am the love, I am the truth, and I am. But I also put in, I am a divine being in creation of God. And I always put that I am a divine being, because we are. And I also ask, I'm like, I am opening my gifts. I am ascending. I am discerning. Those are things that I reaffirm myself, because with all the stuff that was thrown at us, especially the last couple of years, it's been like people say it's trickled, but the stuff that I found out is it was a floodgate for me. Because even in the military, just some of the things that I found out what our military has done in the past, I'm heartbroken for it, and I served proudly, and I'm retired from the military. But there's things that I found out that I what I thought reality wasn't reality. And that was part of my fault. Like you mentioned, I wasn't fully aware, because I was in the rat race. I was worried about, I had kids to support. I had a wife to support. I had to make the money in order for us to live and have the things that they can do. And, and that was my focus. Was I have duties I have to do, and I need to get them done. And what I did was I started having health problems and all these other things. I have stomach problems because I worry. I used to worry a lot. I don't anymore, but I used to. I used to take so much medicine and all these things from the VA. For my bad back, bad knees, bad feet. Just to sleep for every I'd be awake in fight or flight mode with PTSD every 15 minutes. Just, I'm sharing something a little bit with you guys as personal. So, and my wife used to do the opposite. They used to say, don't bother him, but she would always grab me and hug me and calm me down. And that would bring me down into reality. And I used to take so much medicine just to even sleep for 20, 30 minutes at a time without waking up, like freaked out that someone was going to, end my life. And I started to work on myself, and I had my life change besides the 2020 is I had a lot besides the thing that happened with Mr. T, but, and all the stuff that started coming after. I also lost my mom, which was my rock for our family. And she was the only person that was always had my back. And I always felt that. So when she passed away in 2020, unexpectedly, it was very heartbreaking. Kind of like what you mentioned with your sister leaving, is like a part of me. I don't cry, and I'm not a crying type, but that was something I felt like part of my soul attachment or something was gone. And it was pretty hard. But I started working on myself at that point, and I knew that. And the first thing that I did, and it was funny because with my spiritual awakening, it was my mom. My mom came to me, and my mom told me, because I have a stepdad that raised me since I was 9 months old, and he was very abusive and all that type of stuff. When she died, she says, "Forgive him. It's not your burden." And I heard it plain as day. And it's not your burden. Forgive him and forgive yourself, and you'll feel better. It's not your burden to hold. So literally, when I heard that, I called, or my brother called me, which was the universe interacting, because I didn't call. My brother called me, who was visiting him at the time, and we patched it up. And actually, he's been staying in my house for this last week. It's the first time that he's been around me, and for years and years and years. And it took some time for me to forgive, and I had to work on myself once my mom passed, and that was her way of nudging me to say, you need to start taking care of you, because if you don't, your health is deteriorating, and there's all the other things that are constantly just hanging around you that don't need to be around you, like the darkness and things like that. So that's kind of, I started working on myself. So all of a sudden, when I start working on myself on daily routines, what we kind of spin back to earlier, I started taking less medicine. All of a sudden, I didn't need the gastro reflux and the stomach pain that I have all the time. I didn't need that anymore. I didn't need medicine for my back and for the muscle spasms and the things from jumping out of airplanes and rappelling out of helicopters for so many years. And I didn't need all that. I didn't need sleeping medicine. And I was taking medicine enough to probably kill people and just to even sleep halfway decent. And I don't take anything anymore because I've been working on myself. My vibration has gone up, and I feel the best. Don't get me wrong. I still have my aches and pains like everybody does because I'm old, I'm an old guy. So, but I feel better inside. I feel like I got a washing, like I almost washed myself, is what I kind of just feel like it's a washing. And I feel like that's when my body started to repair itself in a lot of ways for things that I've had so many years of ailments for. So that's kind of how it is for me. But that's just what I would suggest to people. It starts inside. And once you start to work on that, like you were doing, you're going to start to feel better because your mindset is changing. You're no longer focused on the everyday, I got to do this, and this. And then you're nowhere in that part because you're doing, I got to do this for someone else. I got to do this for someone else. I got to do this for someone else. And it's not for you. And that's where it starts.
I love it. And you're right, 1000%. Like the inner work that I've just been doing, I would just say over the past month has completely transformed the outlook that I have on life. 1000%. And you spoke a little bit about like how you don't take any more like medication and you feel great. Same with me. I've had lower back issues, and I was like, man, I lift weights, and I lift a lot of weights. And ever since I changed my diet, I've fruits and vegetables and eating cleaner, and then also taking the Ascent Nutrition from Lance. Guys, Lance is gonna be here on Sunday. You don't want to miss that episode. Lance is gonna be back. He's gonna drop more hot content. The nutrition portion. I was listening to Gypsy Mama last night. Gypsy Mama was on doing a live, and I hopped on, and the content she was dropping too is just like, and I see a few other people in our chat that were there as well. The nutrition aspect has a big component onto that ascension process and doing that inner work. It makes sense. You put junk into your body, you put junk into your system, you're going to manifest junk, and to put it simply. And then also, man, where I was going to go with this is we need to take care of ourselves in every aspect. And I'm reading the comments too. And guys, send in your questions. I want to also, Jason, I want to talk about your channeling session that you had with
Julianne?
Yes, yeah. I want to talk about that next. I think we're going to take one question and then we'll go from there. But I do want to talk about that channeling session that you had with Richard Woo Boo Dude's significant other. It was pretty epic. Vince Moreno, thank you so much for the super sticker, brother. Love and light to you, 1000%. Also, let's look at this one. We have a real world witness, Chrissy. When you get messages, how do you receive them? I get answers that pop in my head, or I'll think of something or someone and will show up. So let's kind of talk about dreams. Okay. Let's start there. And then let's kind of answer real world witness Chrissy's question. So last night, I've been having dreams, and some of them are a lot more vivid than others. The one that I had after your session, Jason, the following Sunday, I had another dream, a vision that we were in battle. And it was you and me and a third person. This time it was a male. We needed to kind of escape a certain situation. And I was trying to open, it was like a futuristic kind of a car, almost like a Humvee. And then we had a drone that was looking at us like we were prisoners behind closed gates. And the drone caught me getting into the car. It straight up like transformed down on the ground. And then that's when I was like publicly humiliated for trying to escape. And then I woke up. So I know we're having dreams. I know we're getting messages. Jason, let's talk a little bit about that situation.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the messages, like when I get dreams, I mean, here's what I suggest when with Christy. I only so I get messages all the time, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, what is that? What? I wasn't even thinking of anything like that. It just randomly pops in my head, or all of a sudden I get a feeling. It just so I'll start to process it, and it may not make sense right away. Like with you, Chrissy, what I would suggest is you get these messages down and start jotting them down. And what you'll do is as you start jotting them down on paper, and it does benefit to write these things out as well. And like what Jay Snip was saying about writing it down instead of typing it, because we're making action. So our thoughts become words by our actions of writing. So what you do is as these images pop in your head, or these questions or comments or things that make no sense, start writing them down. And what you'll do is as the messages that are coming to you may not make sense at the time, but after an event or something that comes along, you can look back at your, like, there it is. Wow. So then when you start to put those pieces together, when you get these messages in, you'll start to build that muscle. It's a muscle. It's like building a muscle for things. The more practice you do, the more messages and the more you can start to channel and start to try to understand them. But I would say by writing them down, and then maybe they'll make some sense as you go along in the story, because you're getting a storyline or information that may not be valid at this very second, but it is valid in the journey. So that's why it comes to you. So when you get those things, I suggest people just a little note, write it down. So what I do that, I only do that for my dreams, because I get so much downloads from spirit all the time. It's almost like I at first I thought it was going crazy, because I'm like, why are my mind is just spinning? I'm getting these random thoughts. So once I was able to slowly quiet those down, and what I do with that is I just ask my guides to quiet down, quiet the information that's coming to me, because sometimes they'll be so active to me and just almost like, hey, 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 I'm here, pay attention. And sometimes they're very subtle. So once you kind of build that, ask them if you're getting these things and it doesn't make sense, there's a lot of scrambling in your mind. Ask your guides, because every one of us has beautiful spirit guides, and that's what they're here. They're here. Literally, their job is to help, and ask them, please, or help me make sense of this. Help me make sense of these things, and you'll be surprised the things that you'll start writing and the things that you'll be getting. And what I say is also don't force these things. So these dreams, I get some very prophetic dreams, and those are the only things I write down. But and the weird thing is, if you want to hear the weird part of it, is when I get these dreams, though, even though I write them down, they still stuck in my brain as if it's happening in the live now. That's how strong they are. It's almost like it's happening. I could literally recreate it verbatim in the live right here in our reality. So it makes no sense to me to write them down, but I do, because I go back and I can pull these notes from before. And after I can read, and sometimes when I'm writing, it may not always be what first came to me, but I just start writing is what's coming to me, and then it may make some sense later on. So that's what I would suggest for messages for you, like even for you, when you get these things, write them down, make a little journal, even these messages that you may receive, because once you start channeling and you start to build that muscle, you'll channel all the time. And I can speak, if Jay doesn't mind me, I'm going to say he's seeing exactly that thing right now. Like he's getting channeling, and when he's not ready for it, or he's not in a place where he feels he's ready for it, like he doesn't have to do the meditations and all that anymore, because as he's doing them, when he gets his message during the meditation, they come to him more frequently now, because he's opening and he's not pushing. And that's what I could tell a lot of people too, is when you push, and what I mean by pushing is, I know I have this, I know this, and I want to try to make sense of this, and please give me these messages. Please give me this message. Please give me this message. What Spirit's telling me right now, honestly, is you will only get the message if your vibrational level is at the point where they can send you the message. So they may be trying to send you messages, but your vibrational level is not at the level it needs to be at in order to receive that. So we work on ourselves, and as you ascend with your energy, you'll start to channel more higher vibrational energies of light. So, and you'll start to make sense of it. Just have to work. It's baby steps, baby steps, baby steps.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah, Jay the Rockstar, yes, he is in the chat right now. True story. 1000%, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. No, like the dreams like I've been sharing, like they're not all like futuristic or battle dreams. I've had some very good loving dreams as well, like celebration parties, being with loved ones, and just like, so there are good ones too. I just, the dreams are coming in like crazy, and I think what you said is spot on. As you raise your vibrations, then those dreams are going to start coming into you 1000%.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I still get this one dream, and I've had this dream maybe like 5 times. It's like I went back to high school because I didn't complete a class, and now I get held back. Now I get to stay in high school. I always remember that one. I'm like, that one's a nightmare. I hate that one. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, Jason. Man, I wasn't a good student in high school. I think that's what it was. And my
It sounds
spirit
like a
guides are
nightmare.
reminding me. They're reminding me, yeah, you didn't do what you should have done during high school. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I still get that one.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie either. I wasn't like I wasn't a crappy student, but I wasn't like an all honor society student. I mean, I was A's, B's, and C's, but that was very minimal effort. Very minimal. And for me, it was social hour and sports. That's literally when I went, like, my best class of the day was gym. And that was about it, literally. I know, and I liked home ec too because I got to cook.
I love it. I love home ec. We're opening up Jason Ramirez's true passion. He loves to cook. I love it.
I'm a good cook, but I don't like to cook, unfortunately. So
yeah,
it is what it is. So,
No.
but yeah, I mean, it's good, man. It's dude, that sounds like a nightmare, man. Going back to high school and being stuck in high school.
Yeah, it was. I still remember is Mrs. Green in like pre-algebra. I'm like, pre-algebra, man. We don't even need. When do we ever use pre-algebra? Like never. Like we never just learned how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's it. And if we could get Congress to just learn how to add and subtract and balance a damn budget, we would be in a lot better shape. So why do they even teach this stuff in school? But that's another show. That's another topic. We have a question from the rock star himself. So, when did Jason Ramirez and Jason Bryan first realize their awakening? So, Jason,
I'll let you go first. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you to. I want you to go first, and then I'll finish it up.
Okay, so I would say the beginning of my awakening is when my mom. I never heard anything before, and when my mom passed, I heard her voice, and from that point on, I started to. I honestly started. I had this dream, and I mentioned this before in our round, and I had when I was on a round table with real world witness Chrissy and Jay, that I had a dream where I was in my room. I was sleeping, but I was awake, and the doorway to my room to my left was so humongous. It was like for a giant, and I heard a booming voice at the top of, like, it was booming, like it was loud, and it was just very full of just bass and booming, like, pay attention to what I'm telling you, like that type. And it was only part that I can remember out of it, because it was like, whoa, did someone just talk to me? And the part I remember was inside of you. And it was, as soon as he said you, hyperspace, like in Star Wars, at me and into the center of my body. But they were white, like looked like white lights, but they were purple. Like they were purple lights, but they were like the white lights in the Star Wars movie when they're hitting hyperspeed. And it was like, and it woke me up from after all they came into me. It woke me up, and my heart was like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, I felt like, what just happened there? Like, it was so like, what happened? Like, I was awake enough, but it startled me to the point where it startled me awake. So after that point, I started connecting to my guides more. And I've always been connected. I always knew things weren't right, and I always knew there was people around me and guides around me, but I never really connected with them or made an effort to do it. But after that, I started to make it a point where I started to work on myself. I started to literally, I don't know what it was, something just came to me and says, work on yourself. So I started eating differently. Like what you mentioned, literally, I've been eating differently. Like I don't eat the garbage that I used to. I don't eat fast food anymore. I actually stopped drinking soda. That was like my crutch. I love soda. Like I could drink so much Coca-Cola, and that was the worst thing I could drink for my stomach and the sugar and all that. But I did away with it. I only drink water now with some lemon, and it's actually been really good. And now when I drink a sip of someone's soda or something, it tastes disgusting to me because it's so sweet. So I've changed that, and I also stopped using products like deodorants and things like that. I mean, I make my own deodorants, and I make my own shampoo, and I make my own body wash. I make that stuff from stuff that, so it's not that we're not getting poisoned, because we get poisoned everywhere. That's why a lot of us aren't opening up as many gifts as we have as quickly as we would like them to, because we're being poisoned in every way, shape, or form. The water, the food, the air, the stuff you put on your body. I mean, literally the stuff, I mean, just everything, we're being poisoned all around. Not only that, but the poison of the mind poisoning they've been doing to us, and the soul poisoning. They're dividing us even in religion. That's a soul poisoning.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any second guess of how special you are, what I tell people is, why do you think the devil and God are, that they constantly are fighting for your soul if it wasn't valuable? Which means you're valuable, because that soul is you. So the fact that good and evil have been fighting from the beginning of creation for souls, that shows you how special you are. So that's how my awakening started. And mine went from working on myself to start to help others. So once I felt I was in a place when I was rooted enough and strong enough, I've always been a helper, but I feel like something just kind of pushed me, nudged me along, like kind of with Kristen and yourself. Something nudged you guys along to do this. And that's why you guys are doing this, because you have to work on yourself. So now you can help others, because our job is to help others. And that's what we're in service to others. You love yourself, but you're a service to others. So that's how we get through this. And the more light we shine, because you can't have dark, or you can't have light without dark, because dark is the palette that gives us the light reflection. But the more light we shine, all the collective, that's less darkness that will be available. That's how I look at it.
It's beautiful, brother. Yeah, and the analogy, or not even the analogy, the vivid picture that you just painted about God, the Creator, and the devil fighting over us. That's how important and how special we are. I absolutely love that, 1,000%.
Awesome.
So I guess my spiritual awakening, when did I realize it? This was, like I said, it goes back to with me and my sister. Like when me and my sister come together, great things happen, and that's just how it is. It's just like when my mom had surgery back when me and my sister were like maybe 17 and 19 years old. We ran a very successful dog grooming salon while my mom had surgery, and like people are like, we didn't skip a beat. We didn't skip a beat. And like that was a big task to have us. Kristen was still in high school. I was like, she was doing her independent study. And then I was just out of high school, and we carried that business for a while. And then even before that, when we were younger, like my mom would, tell stories, and like whenever we are together, magic happens. Something special happens. I can't explain it, but when our two energies are together, we're unstoppable. To be honest, we're unstoppable. The only thing that could stop us is ourselves, and that's it. But when we're together, when we're right, nothing can stop us. It was, I have to go back to the divorce. I would just have to go back to the divorce and leaving that. Yeah, I felt good. But yeah, there's the reason why it hurt so much is because I was missing my daughter. I only got to see my daughter like half the time. And it's not easy having that, I guess you would say, that stigma of being divorced. And then you start listening to those negative thoughts. Oh, you're a failure. You failed in your marriage. You're not being a good dad. How could you do that? You left your daughter. Now then all that negative spiral would come out of place. And then I have work. Work is very stressful. So I would go out and help others. I would put on a fake smile and be strong for others and others and others, but not take care of myself. And not take care of myself, and keep on going in that negative spiral. So it was a blessing for my sister and I to come together to work on that. And what are we doing? We are serving others. We are serving others, whether we come on a live or when we were doing our recording shows, spreading that love, that light to others, being that service to them, but also for you guys, for our soul tribe to accept us and to love us and all those positive you guys lift us up so much. I know my sister's going through it. I was going through it. You guys, without you, who knows where I would be? Who knows where my sister would be? That's what it's about. Everyone coming together, everyone with high vibrations, love and light. And when someone's in a low vibration, pick them up. Give them love and light. Give them love. That's all I have to say. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and walk in love. That's how, I guess that's the story of me going through this awakening. However, there's another component because it's much deeper than that. I still did not have an avenue to vent or to like express my concerns or to open up. Basically, I can't open up to my sister. I can't open up to my mom. It's a little different, like I can't, it's just awkward, if you know what I mean. You can't let everything out to your mom and sister. I didn't have anyone to talk to until Jay the rock star came along, until Jason Ramirez came along, and for me to let go, forgive myself, let it go, and walk in love and light. So I owe a lot of credit to Jason Ramirez and also Jay, the Rockstar Rocco. Like I said, I couldn't do this show without you, and we can't do our show without our moderators. And I know the creator, the universe, whatever you guys want to call him, I know who he is bringing us together at this special time to help others heal and to awaken and activate our soul tribe family 1,000%, which it continues to grow on a daily basis. Man, it's pretty deep. I could go deeper, but I didn't all right, full disclosure, I didn't have a positive male role model in my life ever. It was a deadbeat dad. Didn't never talk to him. I don't even know the last time I even spoke to him. It's been I'm 36. It's probably been over 30 years. And then my grandfather passed away. He was one that I would talk to, but he's a grandfather. It's completely different. I didn't have that avenue to release that kind of stuff, that garbage that's inside of me until you and Jay came along. So, like I said, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. You have helped me out so much.
Love you too, man. Much. So I know Jay loves you too. So, dude, honestly, your story resonates with me so much, man. Like I had that same thing. Like I had not a good role model, nobody. I mean, I had somebody around, partially, but then I had another stepdad, and he was gone as a long road trucker. So I just, like you said, I had the same thing. I didn't have an avenue to vent, or to say anything to anybody. I had brothers, but even my brothers were younger than me. And sometimes even my brother, he may not have understood kind of what I was, I needed an older person that can kind of give me some guidance a little bit on some of the things I was going through from a different perspective than what my mom could have given me and things like that. But same thing, man. It was until I figured out that it was my way to vent. It was always anger. I didn't know any other way to say anything except to just be angry or get angry. And to lash out, and that wasn't a person I wanted to be, anymore. And that's a true story. I mean, it's just, I try to stay as calm as I can, but I used to have a short fuse a lot of times, man. Like even in traffic, stupid things like that. You know what I mean? Like getting to work. I used to live in Orange County at the time, and driving to LA, it was 32 miles to my job, and it would take me 2 hours to get to work, and it was ridiculous. And just that fighting alone, and I was just constantly angry, trying to make the money, and I just stopped. One day I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. Honestly, I don't care. I got to that point where I didn't give a damn. And I hate to say that, but it was true. I'm like, you know what? I'm killing myself, and I don't care at this point, I am done. I'm done. And literally at that point, I feel like I started releasing some of this anger, and I used to find a different way to, now I just kind of acknowledge it and I try to let it go. And don't get me wrong, I get some things that trigger me too, but I don't go to like 1,000 like I used to. I might go to like 5 and then come down, because I acknowledge it right away. I don't let myself keep creeping up to the point where I'm like, oh, let's get it. We're about to get it now. So, you know what I mean? It's not me anymore. So, which is amazing. So, and my wife has told me, she's like, I've seen your transformation, you know, and honestly, and Jay can speak to the same thing. As I had walls up, and I know you do, or you did as well. You have walls up because that's those calluses. If I put these walls up, guess what? It's impenetrable. Only I'm in the inside. No one can get in. And that's the worst. And you isolate yourself. And as souls, we're not meant, even though we come and go from this plane, but on our own journey, we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to open and let others in, and you let your love out. So we're meant to spread. And that's why I've learned that. And the more I've learned that, I feel like I'm in a better place. I don't get triggered by the things that used to trigger me. When I do, some things do bother me. I don't. I acknowledge it and I send it away right away. And my mentality has changed so much. I'm in the most peaceful place in my entire life. And I told that to Jay on the phone. I've told you this on the phone. And if if it was the end of the world today, or if it was my time to go, I'm at peace. Like nothing I can hear in this world can affect me at this point, because I am beyond that. I've gone through the anxieties. I've gone through the stuff that I've seen us go through in the world. These things are coming out. Is there going to be some alarming stuff that's going to come down the horn? Absolutely. But I'm already know that I'm prepared for that, and I'm able to help others because I'm prepared for that. And there's going to be many people who are going to need our help. This is just the beginning, guys. Honestly, this is something that when we do take this darkness out forever, our job is to move this new world into the beautiful place that God originally meant it to be. And it starts with us. So we have to do that. So
I love it, Jason. I love it. We do. We have so much in common, and we've only been talking for maybe a couple of weeks. You know,
yeah,
but brother, I'm telling you, there's some kind of connection with us, and like you said, this is just the beginning, 1,000%. And if I feel this amazing now, I can't even believe, or I can't wait to how much more amazing I'm gonna feel in the future as I continue to do the work. And I think that could kind of go back to that question from Chrissy. Like, it's easy for us to kind of go back into that rat race and not continue to progress, or not, it's to be complacent. Basically, that's the word I was looking for. Being complacent. Oh, I feel good now, and then something happens, and then you go back, and then you lower your vibration. So having that community, having that strong inner circle that I could speak to, you, the rock star, my sister, our inner circle, having those people bring you up, having each other, having everyone have each other's back. That's why the soul tribe is that important. This is a place for everyone to come, raise their vibrations, and to have their questions heard. I know, like, we want to get into the truther stuff, but sometimes we need to have shows like this, full transparency, so people know they're not alone, and absolutely, to raise your vibrations 1,000%. Well said, brother. I love it. Where do we want to go next? So we've been going on. We're gonna just go as long as we want to. We're gonna go as long as we want to, because we're absolutely loving it. Let's go with Lola. Thank you so much. He says, thank you for doing a show tonight. You are welcome. Don't forget to watch us. Kristen will be back Sunday we have Lance from Ascent Nutrition. Don't miss that show. Sunday is going to be absolutely epic. And then we have shout out to Gypsy Mama. Thank you so much. She says, so much love to the Soul Tribe fam. So grateful. So grateful for you, Gypsy Mama. I love, keep on doing your videos. You're spreading truth, love, and light everywhere. Keep it up, Gypsy Mama. Proud of you, 1,000%. Let's go with, okay, this is a good one. We're going to get to Jay. Jay has another question. We're going to get to this one. I want to talk a little bit about your channeling session with Julianne. So let's talk a little bit about that. We do have a few more questions, but I think now's a good time. Let's talk about that channeling session that you had with Julianne.
I can tell you, you know, honestly, I kind of I knew. Well, okay, so Julianne, she's a gifted psychic. It's Woo Dude's wife, partner. She's very gifted. She also channels, so she channels energy, and she channels guides and angels. So I did a 30-minute channeling session with her probably about, I don't know, close to 2 weeks ago now, give or take, maybe a little over a week ago. It just all runs together. And all she asked me was, "What is there something you would like to know?" And I said, "Well, just to see if there's anything from a previous life, or and then what my mission is here. Am I living the soul mission that I'm meant to live, and what will that look like in the future?" So I kind of knew these. So she starts literally after that. That's only few things that I told her. So she starts channeling these energies, and the things that soon as she started channeling, I was meditating, and before this meditation, um, earlier in the day, I asked my spirit guides, because my guides are super powerful, like super powerful, and I feel their energy all the time. So I asked them humbly. I say, when she channels for me later today, can you show her how strong you are as guides? I want her to understand, so maybe she can feel it. Well, she starts channeling, and she's going through these, and she's speaking of things like and she didn't go back one lifetime. She said, "You've been fighting the darkness since before history was written." And I've always known that. And I've always known, like I mentioned in a previous dream that I had when I was saving children, was there was a giant individual that made me look like a little tiny ant. And when he came around, the evil things he was doing, when I came around the corner, he looked at me and he said, "You again." So this is something we've been battling. I've been battling for a long time. So she's channeling all these things. And during this chant, so I'm meditating. I'm sitting there with my eyes closed in a nice seated position, excuse me. And I'm sitting there just kind of my eyes closed and I'm breathing. So the moment she starts channeling, I could feel my body start to vibrate and it starts to pulse my head. And she starts saying all these things. And what she was telling me about, I'm here and your audience is going to grow, and the audience that you need to touch, these are people, these are people that are going to come to you. And these are things that you're here for this reason, in order to move this along, and this battle that we've been fighting with this darkness since before history was written. And the part that got me, I started crying during this. And I'm not a crier, and I hate to say that. And the times that I mentioned to you guys, the times that I've cried is legitimately probably since I was a kid, maybe 4 or 5 times. But she was in the middle of a channel, and in the middle of a channel, literally, she said she was surprised. She goes, "Saint Michael, you're here." And I started crying because I have a tattoo on my arm, and it's a sleeve of the battle versus good versus evil. And I got this in 2020, believe it or not, before any of this stuff kicked off. And the bottom of my forearm is Saint Michael with his shield and his sword, the flaming sword, and he's banishing Satan to hell. And when she said, "Saint Michael, you're here," like even now I have goosebumps everywhere and I feel tingles. And she says, she told me, "You've been in private council with Saint Michael many times for battles." And I was just like, I started crying because I knew that was like the affirmation to me, like, oh my goodness. And the confirmation, like the stuff that I knew is another psychic and a channeler just picking this stuff up. And when she said Saint Michael, it rang to my heart. I knew, because he's always with me. Like he and I don't know what it is. I'm tied to Saint Michael. And it was so amazing and so powerful. Like I just felt like when he came in, I felt the change in the energy. My whole body went from tingling to pulsing everywhere, like whoa, 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 like everywhere. And I felt as if he came to in that channeling session and cleansed everything that I was holding on to. I felt so amazed and so regenerated. She got done channeling, and this is the part that was so amazing for me. She says, "Wow, you're magnetic. Your energy is so magnetic, Jason." She's like, your energy, people just attract to your energy. And I'm like, and she says, your guides and your energy is so powerful. I felt it here, like physically. And I was like, wow. And I even put that on, it was recorded. And I told her, I said, that's what I asked my guides to show her, how strong my guides are. And every one of us has our own guides, but I just feel them so strongly when they're with me, and they're always protecting me. I've seen I've seen demons in standing in front of me in a black cloak in the black. And I've also seen angels. I've seen a physical angel, and he was standing next to our bed next to my wife, and it was all white. It was so vibrant and white, like that light was just emanating from this person. I felt so calm when I just the corner of my eye I could see this being standing there, and I felt so calm. The other way was fight or flight when I saw the other thing, and it was never flight for me. It was always stand your ground. This is your place, and not being confrontational, but just to say this is my spot. And that's honestly how it's so powerful that when she channeled that energy, man, like I I try not to sob too loud because this is a telephone call and I was trying to hold like that crying in from being so audible, but I would just felt so peaceful and so full of love. And I knew my guys were literally hugging me, telling me, you are loved, you are protected, you are of the light, and you are fighting the darkness as you always have. And they told me what I felt is I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing this. And that's what made me feel like my soul and everything was just cleansed and washed. And it was probably one of the most substantial, eye-opening spiritual connecting type channeling sessions or things I've ever been around. Like I felt connected. And the fact that I did the work prior to that session so she could feel connected to me. And she's like, wow. She actually said, we're going to meet in person someday. I know we will. So, and I was like, wow. She's like, you're going to help a lot of people. I feel your energy. And I'm like, I was just so happy. And the things that I knew just to be, just to have that confirmation that this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And the soul tribe has come together, and it's been an amazing thing for me so far. And I'm so grateful to you and Kristen and Jay as well. You guys are doing amazing things, man. So like I tell Kristen every day, you're a superhero. You change people's lives one reading at a time, which is true. And that's exactly how I look at myself as well. Not an arrogant way, but what I mean is I feel like my purpose, I'm doing my purpose finally, and I have a sense of love and purpose. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and the things that come to me in abundance. And I start my day as soon as I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I thank God for everything I have, even if there's crazy stuff in my life at the time or whatever. I thank Him for everything I have, and I come from a place of thankfulness. Is what I started instead of to say I need this. Well, this person had. Oh, I wanted that. I had that. I want that new car. Oh, I want a better house. I want this. I stopped doing that. I just worry about. I not worry. I focus on myself, and I focus on the people that are around me. By me focusing on myself, I become a better person, and their energies have changed around me because I've worked on myself. So I've raised vibrational levels of others around me just by working on myself. And that's where it starts for us. I keep saying, I know it sounds like a broken record, but Spirit is so strong telling me to tell everyone it starts with you. And when I heard that it's inside of you, that was God, I feel, that was talking to me. And it's crazy, but I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. And since that point on, my awakening and everything has just kind of come into place. The universe has literally moved me along the path instead of going off and veering. I'm taking steps toward the path that I'm meant to be on. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to come into that path. And we've been veered off so much. Now we're starting to pull that energy in and pulling it back in so we can continue down that path together. And once we're together in line and we're all on the same page, good luck.
Yeah.
If you're of the dark, that's all I can tell you. Good game. Thanks for playing.
I love it, Jason. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. When we all come together, like I said, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing
Not
can.
just a catchphrase.
No, it's not. I think it turns how I perceived that was like, oh, someone else is gonna come in and come and help. No, it's us. It starts and ends with us coming together 1,000%.
Exactly right.
Man.
We are the Soul Tribe Army, and that's the true story. I've been training troops in every lifetime. I feel I've been training troops, and it made sense that St. Michael is there, and he's the commander of our army. Besides God, he is the commander of all of us, and he leads the archangels, the angels, and us, because we are part of that angel, archangel spirit. I know we are. I know it. So, and I know all of us are. And once we realize and we ascend, and we see how magnificent of creation God made us.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen these dreams and the beautiful things that are coming.
Yes.
So I tell people this all the time, and I know we can get caught up in the rat race. We talk about the rat race. And it's not just a rat race, even with your guys' show, even. We come on, we talk about the things that people want to know, but things that are not pleasant things to speak about usually, because people want to know these things. So what we do is we're doing that so we can educate, but what we're also doing is we're acknowledging these things, and we continue to acknowledge these things. So it's good to have a change of pace, and it's good to get out of that rat race and that hamster wheel, as you speak of. And when people focus on, well, this person said this and this person said that, well, this person talked about this and that person, oh, that didn't come true. And what all that's doing is dividing. Instead of us uniting, all that's doing is poking what everything they want us to do. They want to divide. They're easier to control if you're divided than when you're together. That's why you think the internet was created. You think the internet was created, honestly, because of ease of use? No, because they wanted people to stop congregating in pubs and restaurants and get-togethers, because you can communicate at your home with this little device. And what that does is isolate you, and they can control you. So those are things that they seem innocent, but they're not. Everything that has been put in front of us has been nefarious from the beginning of time. So our job is to break those cycles, and that's how it starts. You have to break your cycles, and when you break your cycles, every person that breaks their cycles, we move forward in the journey closer to the light. So it starts with you.
That's a great segment, and beautifully said, Jason. So guys, people in the chat, if you are just joining us, you guys can follow, and I highly recommend that you guys do. Go to the Soldier of Light 786. I'm gonna post his copy right there. I'm gonna go ahead and post this in the chat. Go ahead and give Jason Ramirez, the Soldier of Light, a follow over on his YouTube channel. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in the chat. There it is. Guys, you have to give him a follow. Absolutely hot content, truth being spoken tonight, 1,000%. Guys, don't go anywhere on Sunday. Put it in your own alert system. We are going to have Lance from Ascent Nutrition. He's going to be joining us. He's going to he gave me kind of a preview of what he's going to be talking about, and it's going to be nothing short of epic. So guys, go to goascentnutrition.com and go ahead and, guys, you have to try that pine pollen powder. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Ladies, Soul Tribe ladies out there, buy it for your husbands. You won't be disappointed, if you know what I mean. 1,000%. It's absolutely amazing. Also, shout out to Harley Ray. Where is Harley Ray? There it is. Harley Ray Boutique.myshopify.com. Guys, this is our Soul Tribe one-stop place to shop. That is the Soul Tribe wax melts. And yes, the flavor, the scent is sage, because my sister is the queen of sage, 1,000%. That's Harley Ray Boutique.myshopify.com. Guys, absolutely amazing. This is where I want to go next, Jason. Feel free to ask me any questions. Soul Tribes, don't be shy. Ask the questions. It's going to be full transparency, open book. It's open mic night here on the Soul Tribe, 1,000%. Here is a good segment into it. Jay, the rock star, has a question. He says, please address regret, as in what if I should have done this. It lowers your vibration. So let's address regret, Jason, and kind of see where this takes us.
Well, I mean, when it comes to regret, what I believe what Jay's saying is, because, and I can even speak about even Kristen as of recent. It's when we get into the what if, like, what if this happened, or what if this happens, or what if this happens, or well, this happened before. So if this happened before, what if this happens? Or why did this happen? And this happened before. So what we're doing is we're defeating ourselves. That's a self-defeating attitude. What if, the what if, the what if, the what if? Because when you have a what if, it's because of something that's triggered you in the past, something that's happened to you. That's you feel you're afraid is going to affect your future. And it will affect your future if you continue to bring that past to your present and into your future, because you keep reliving that same energy, because you bring that energy to you. So I had this thing, what Jay was talking about, regret, to kind of piggyback off of that as well, is I listened to this video probably, I don't know, about a few days back now, as an Indian shaman, a Navajo shaman, a medicine man. And he was speaking of the old ways that the medicine men and the shamans would teach the tribal leaders and the tribes. And he would spoke of, they would teach them from young, you have to watch, and your total being that you're here, you have to watch what you think, you have to watch what you say, and you have to watch what you do at all times. Because what you think, if you think of something negative, that's going to draw that negative to you, and that negative will attach to your physical being in some way, or a spiritual side of you. So what that does is that energy just latches onto your spiritual or your physical body, and you start having these ailments, or you start to feel down, you start to feel depressed, you have anxiety, you have stomach problems, you have heart palpitations, whatever it may be. So that negative thought, or for whatever it is, pulled this energy to you, and it latched onto you like you were a magnet saying, come get me, please. And that's what it is. So we have to watch, we have to be mindful. And that's what being in the present means. When I kind of tied into that is, when we live in the present, so that means be present in the now. Because what we're saying, what if, we're thinking about things way in advance that could change at the blink of an eye. So if we live in the present, and we focus on the present and the things that we have in front of us that are the love and the beautiful things, you will no longer have the what if, because you automatically start to transition to your what if without even mentioning what if. So stop defeating yourself. That's what that means, is the regret, or having regrets about things. That comes back to letting go, forgiving, setting away with light and love. And then eventually those regrets and those thoughts no longer come into your mind, and that defeatist attitude. I sound like Tony Robbins, but it's that defeatist attitude that people have. And it all starts here. Your thoughts lead to your words lead to your actions. So when it comes to those things, we can control this, we can control that. If we can control this, we can control the actions around us. It's all tied together.
I love
So
it,
that's
Jay.
the Lord.
I
The
love
Lord's
it.
vibration.
It does. It does. And I'll just briefly touch upon regret. And like you said, you have to come to terms. You have to forgive yourself first. That's, I think, step number one. Step number one, forgive yourself first. Stop living in the past. Let it go. You are being controlled by those outside forces that you have no control over. You're being controlled if you don't let go. If you continue to hold on to it, like you said, you're going to keep on reliving those emotions, those triggers, those feelings, and you are no longer in the moment. You are back to that trauma that is lowering your vibration that you need to just let go of. Just let it go. I also kind of, just me personally, is about trust. It's about trust and trusting him, the creator, the universe, trusting him, and he will you have to first let it go. That's step number one. But then trust him, trust the universe, trust the creator, that he will take care of it, and good things will come. Better things will come. And that's what I had to deal with my divorce. It was, like I said, giving up my daughter half the time, not good. I was like Mr. Mom and Dad, and doing everything. I still do. That was very tough for me, but I had to forgive myself, let it go, and trust in him that everything will take care of itself. I can't go back. I can't have regrets. I have no regrets. From where I was then to where I am now, I would not trade anything for what I did. That decision was, like I said, if I would have stayed in that marriage, my trajectory on this earth plane was not going to be that long. The stress, the anxiety, the depression, talk about a low vibration. That was me. So yes, I was praying, I was doing my work. I just had to trust in him. I was like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to do this for myself, for my daughter, and I will trust you with what is to come. And he has been nothing but giving me blessings ever since that day, 1,000%. And he is bringing in people, not just you, not just Jay the Rockstar Rocker. He's bringing in a lot of people into my life for a specific purpose, and I have to trust in him. Having trust issues, that is me. You look up the dictionary of a person that has trust issues, that's me. But I had to forgive myself, let it go, and trust 1,000%.
I resonate with that 100%, man. The trust issue, that was me. Because a lot of times I'd open up, I've always been a giving and open heart person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve and I'm always giving. And I would always have this thought that if I give all this good out, then I would hope to get it in return. And that didn't happen a lot of times. A lot of times I'd get kicked in the you know what's is what I would call it. I'd put myself out. So what I started doing is, like you said, I had trust issues. I didn't trust because the people that I thought would have my best interests didn't have my best interests at heart. They had their own interests at heart, and it wasn't my own, and it was, we all have our own interests at heart. That's, we still need self-love, but there's a difference between when someone has their own interests and it has nothing really to do with you. It's to do with their own. And that's kind of the thing. And so I always had that feeling as well, the trust issue and things. And I had to work on that as well. And I started to trust once I started working on myself. I opened up myself. And honestly, I'm not a person who opens up, and I open up, start talking to Jay like right away. I mean, and same thing with you. I don't open myself to people because I've been hurt so many times. And now that I've opened myself up, I feel more complete. Honestly, I can honestly say I feel more complete. I feel more whole. I feel like there's some voids that I had that are slowly being filled in for me. These little Swiss cheese holes that I put in my own self throughout the years, I feel like are being filled back in and healed now, by opening myself up, and being vulnerable. That's unfortunately, that's not unfortunately, but I mean, that's something that I had to work with. I had a wall up when I started talking to Jay too. And, he's like, I know you have a wall up. I can feel it. I can see it, and I started breaking that wall down with him. And ever since, he kind of helped me push me along to get up over the wall or break the wall down, whatever you want to call it, and just keep going on the journey. I've opened up a lot, and things are coming to me way easier because I've let go. I've trusted now. I'm trusting. I'm just letting it come to me instead of trying to manipulate it or trying to control possibly myself. I had to get out of my own way. And that's what a lot of us have to do, is get out of our own way.
Yeah.
And once we do that, it's going to be magic time for a lot of people. So
I'm glad you said to like get out of your own way, because the last time that we had you on the show, you were going over the gematria numbers about me, you, Ishmael, my sister Jay, and in the numbers, I forget which combination it was, but you did say stop denying it, and that's what like that like hit me. Like of everything else that was epic in that information that you dropped, the thing that stuck up to me, the thing that, because I'm reading the chat, like I'm trying to host, and then but when you said stop denying it, I like stopped and I was like, there it is. Stop denying it. Get out your own way. Stop denying it and accept the gifts. 1,000%. I love it,
Absolutely.
Jason. I love it. I love it. Our Soul Tribe family, you guys are amazing. You guys keep the chat going. I love everything that's coming in there. I did see a question in there, and I'm not gonna lie, I think both of us have had this type of issue happen to us, Jason. Let's say that we keep on getting hurt, or we keep on trusting people, and people keep on breaking that trust. What kind of message can we give, those people? Like, okay, they've healed, they've done the inner work, or they thought they healed, let's just say, and then they open up, and then they keep on getting hurt. They keep on having those trust issues, and they keep on coming back, circling over and over again. What can we tell them? I'll let you speak first, and I'll maybe speak, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, I would say first, continue to live in the light. And I know it's hard because there's some people who are really just not vibrationally at a good level. They've been taught certain things, and the reality of what they think reality isn't really the reality of what we live in. And I know there's a lot of things that I've talked to, a lot of clients I've talked to, that's a lot of my spouse doesn't believe in this, or whatever it may be, and or this person is very negative because I'm trying to live in this vibration and they're not, because they're in that hamster wheel as well. And what I would say, if you continue to work on yourself, your vibrational level will stay up. But that person that keeps going on and on and on, you try and you continue, but it's not your place to heal others. It's their job to heal themselves. And what I can tell to people is it may be to the point where your vibrational level is so high that you may have to veer off the path from where this person is going. And your path may not stay together. It may be to split. And I'm not telling people to leave their relationships or anything like that. But what I mean is there's only so much you can do. If that person is not open and willing after you've given your love and you work on yourself and you try and you've tried and you've really given it your full effort with from in your heart and your soul, and that is just you're getting the opposite reaction of what you're putting out, there may be some time to reevaluate. Possibly it may not be that you've outgrown each other, and that happens sometimes, spiritually, mentally, whatever it may be. It's part of, you've come together, your part of your journey may be ending, and you may be on to a new one, where a new horizon, a new person that will love you and understand you will come to you as a gift from the universe, because you're moving on from that. And these are difficult decisions that each one of us will have to go through. I've been divorced before. I can relate 100% to what you're saying. I raised a daughter as well, lived with mom, most of the time, would come to visit me. And that was hard. That was one of the times that I cried, is when I watched my daughter drive away with my ex-wife, and it's just a lot of things. I mean, we just put up all these barriers and all these, we're calloused, and we're just stuck in these ways so much. We're running in the mud. We're never going to get anywhere until you stop running and you plant yourself, and we figure out what we're doing in this life and what we're supposed to be doing. We start taking baby steps. Instead of trying to run, we're just spinning our wheels. We just slowly start to take those choppy steps, and we're making footing. We're getting footing. So you just have to find your footing. Keep sending the love out. That's what I can tell people. Keep working on yourself, no matter what's going on around you. And I used to tell my youth football players and my youth sports people, or my kids that I would coach, there's two things you can control. And I always tell them this: your attitude and your effort. So that means you can control what you think. You can control the effort or the things that you put out. That comes back to what we spoke of earlier. What you think, what you speak, and what you do. We control all of them. We are our own masters of our own destination. So if that happens to be you stay in your path of light, and you know what your future to, and you feel in your soul that this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be doing it, continue that. Don't veer off. And I even told Kristen, don't let anyone derail you on your dream of what you want to accomplish. That goes for everyone, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, nope, I don't believe in that. Nope, that's not my journey. Or nope, that doesn't make any sense. And what that does is deflates you. It deflates what your expectation and what you're putting into the future. So you bring your energy level down to meet them. Don't. Keep yours here. And they'll either will raise theirs eventually to be to your level, or you're going to just keep going and they're going to veer off another way on their own. And that's the suggestion I can give to people is live in your truth. Do not let anyone derail what you want your beautiful future and life to be, and it will be.
Absolutely, Jason. I love what you said about not letting anyone interrupt or come between your purpose, your path, and your love for yourself. It starts with that inner work. And we talked a little bit about this previously in the show. It's about breaking cycles. Okay. And this is just my opinion. If you keep on living the same cycle with these events coming into your, maybe it's a different person, but vibration attracts vibration. If you're on this heartbreak or low vibration, and you meet someone else that's on this heartbreak low vibration, you're going to meet up. And if you don't do that inner work, there's going to be a lot of trust issues for sure on both sides. And that's why person A has to do their inner work. Person B has to do the inner work. And if your vibration raises and theirs doesn't, well, guess what? That person that's on the lower vibration is going to basically not fit into your life. If you do the inner work, you have two choices. You could continue to ascend and they continue to be at their low vibration, or they ascend and you don't. Like, you have to be on the same vibration. Otherwise, this same cycle is going to repeat itself. In the universe, in my opinion, is going to keep on letting this cycle happen until you make a choice. You make a choice to break that cycle and choose to ascend or not. That's just my opinion. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, I'm not a guru, but that's just my opinion on law of attraction. If you're on a low vibration, you're going to attract low vibration. If you're on a high vibration, you're not going to attract low vibrational people. They just will suddenly appear and disappear out of your life.
True story. True story, man. No, that's you said it as well as I could have said it. And that's, you're not, no one's a guru. I don't care what anybody says. It's a term somebody put on there, because we're all gurus. We're all gurus of ourselves. And that's why it's called self-esteem. You affect you. Self-esteem. You affect you. Others around you, because they're not happy with themselves, they're going to reflect what their insecurities are. They're going to reflect the things that they're battling inside that they may not tell you about. They're portraying that energy out with what they're feeling inside. And that's what they're putting in. Like you said, it's the law of attraction. And everything is free will. So, meaning, like, if you feel like you said the universe is going to continue to let that happen, that's a true story, because they're only going to intervene if you ask, because you're doing the work and you've asked and you're moving forward in this journey. If not, you're on a cycle. You're just going to keep riding that hamster wheel in a different motion. It doesn't have to be work or anything, but that hamster wheel of reoccurring defeats, self-defeats. And you're right. If you are low vibration, you're going to attract that. You want to play in the garbage, or the poop, as my mom used to call it, you're going to get shitty. You're going to play in shit, you're going to get shitty. That's the true story, but if you want to stay above here, eventually that person, I don't even think, some people, if they're going to stay high, like you said, they're going to veer off. Or some people, they might not understand you. I feel like sometimes your vibrational level will be high enough, is what Spirit's telling me. Sometimes people may not understand you. You may be speaking to somebody, but they may not be understanding the words that you're saying, and you may be right in front of them because your vibrational level. If you ever get like, what, did you say something? Or I didn't understand what you said. And you spoke as clearly as you usually do, but that person didn't hear you because you're not vibrating at that same vibration. That's a hard example, because I've had that with people, and I'm like, did I speak another language? What am I speaking here? I understand, and my voice is loud, but that person didn't hear me because they weren't vibrating. And I had to I didn't hear any of that, or part of what you said. I didn't hear part of it because they weren't vibrating at that frequency level. And everything is frequencies and vibrations. Everything.
Yes. I cannot agree with you even more. I mean, 1,000%, Jason. You're bringing the hot content. We're bringing the hot content 1,000%. Soul Tribe Love, sending love and gratitude to the men. Thanks for my Friday night entertainment. You guys need to stick together. And we're bonded for sure, Jason. We are bonded. Our souls are bonded 1,000%. And we just came across each other because the universe brought us back. This is not our first go around, if you know what I mean.
It's not. And we're attracting more people into our tribe. So like I said, I had a prophetic dream where I was back in the military and I was training thousands and thousands of soldiers. I didn't know who these people were, but I feel like they're probably Soul Tribe members that we've battled, or we've been training. And it's so amazing to see the tribe grow. I mean, your channel is growing. You're bringing people from all walks of life, all places on the globe. I mean, you guys are connecting in ways. That's the one thing that the dark wasn't expecting, is we've taken their technologies and their things and we're using it against them. And that's how we beat it. We beat them, we take it, and we're spreading the light and the message. And they're trying their hardest. They're done. They've been, I'm telling you, I knew this 2 years ago. I think our biggest battle where things have turned and we're on the offensive happened 2 years ago in our timeline that we're in now, is what I feel so strongly. So I felt like that was a turning point. And President Trump was our commander in this timeline of fighting the evil, and he's divinely guided like we are, all of us, or we wouldn't be here. So you're not crazy. I can tell you all that. A lot of these things that I even had questions about, it's not even talking to somebody about these things, even like Jay, even he mentions to me sometimes, like, this sounds crazy, man. And he starts telling me something, I'm like, that doesn't sound crazy at all to me. And even my wife sometimes, she cracks me up. She's like, man, you sound like a crazy person sometime when you talk to people, because I'm speaking truth. And it's not what everyone, but she laughs about it because she's awake too. But it's the fact of just saying, like, if people are around you and didn't know who you were, what you're talking, it's kind of sound a little loony bins, and that's what Jay would say. It sounds crazy, but it doesn't. So when you find these like-minded people and these soul tribe that are coming together, that there's a reason we're together, because that strangeness or whatever you felt is you're not able to express, and you're gonna feel. That's why these people in the chat, when they say, I feel so connected to the soul tribe, I feel so connected, I love this energy here, there's a reason we are brought together. And so you don't feel alone. Like you mentioned earlier, you're not alone. You're not alone. And you're right, absolutely 100%. I even told Jay this today, and same goes for Kristen and you. I'll take a bullet for you, man. No joke. And when I tell people I love them, it's hard for me to tell people I love them because of the hurt that I've had in my life. But as I'm saying this more to people, it feels better. Like, it just feels more normal to tell someone I love them. And I've never met you in person. I've never met her in person, and I've never met Jay in person, but I've told all three of you, which we considered in reality a complete stranger, but you're not. You're not, though. I don't know what it is. I'm connected to you guys. I feel open to you guys. I feel like when we speak and when we get together, like even on a chat, if we were in a physical location together, energies, oh man, like if I was me as a spectator, I'm like, ooh, can I get tickets to that show? Because it would be amazing. I mean, I feel like when we came together as a group, is what I feel from spirit, is we actually activated a lot of people. I feel like we rose their vibrational level enough to start to activate some of these things that they have inside them by the collective. So
I agree. And I think I'll just touch upon this a little bit, and then there's a great question or a comment here by Pamela. Let me post it first because I think it will make more sense. Pamela Spring says, most men internalize everything and won't talk. This is so wonderful. The Jasons are opening up to us like this. Thank you so much, Pamela, for that comment. And that's kind of where I want to go next. The Matrix. Yeah. They do want men to internalize everything and to shut down and not express themselves. And it's just one way that they can control us and also divide us. There's no reason, there's no coincidence that most marriages, or the majority of them, do end up in divorce. Why? Because there's a lot of broken people out there and they internalize everything. And I'm just speaking for myself. Firsthand, internalizing everything and not expressing things. Harley Ray, shout out to them again. They have a question, we'll get to them, but they sent me this beautiful green moss bracelet, and I was looking up green moss
bracelet.
You can't even make this up, bro. You can't even make this up. I took off my other ones, and I was researching kind of like, what does green moss mean? Because before I put something on, I want to know what it's about.
I researched everything she sent me to.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm reading it, and it's like the green moss balances out the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay. And that's what we're doing here. That's what this spiritual awakening is all about. It's not just about the divine masculine. Don't get me wrong. I'll fight to the death. If someone's coming after my sister or someone I love, I will fight to the death. That's my divine masculine coming out, but also the divine feminine coming out with me expressing my emotions, which is not easy to do, Jason. It's not easy to do, but I have to do it because I'm doing the inner work. I'm telling you, the Matrix, the powers that be, we know who they are, the dark, deep cult. They want to just, men are, I don't know. They give me mixed messages because there's a lot of beta males out there. I'm just being honest.
There are.
I'm just being honest.
100%.
But yeah, But you know what I mean? That's what they use to divide us. Oh, men should not express themselves. Men should not show their emotions.
Nice stone, bro.
I love it. Tiger eye. I love it. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's opening up my spiritual awakening, connecting with my divine feminine as well as my divine masculine. 1000%. Jason, do you want to touch upon
Yeah,
this a little bit?
dude, that same. I agree with that. Like we're taught as men, even as I was a kid. I remember because I was raised with two other brothers, and don't cry, don't cry. I'll give you a reason to cry. That's what I used to hit. Boys, boys don't cry. Things like that. And I'm not saying crying is an avenue. Just the fact of so what I started doing at that point is just kind of holding things in and or getting angry. And ever since I started working on myself a couple years ago now, like probably almost close to 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years, and I've I've been there's some things that just get me emotional now. I feel like as I've tapped into the heart center now, like I'll watch something as simple as like I watched a clip I watched online. It was like a little baby or some little kid playing with like this little like laughing, just the joy of the laughter of this little child with this animal that they were just playing. It was so innocent. Like this is what we're all innocent until something happens and we're not innocent anymore because and just the fact that like that just kind of made me well up a little bit just because I felt the love of as like that's how simple life was when we were little. Kids aren't taught to segregate. Kids like they'll just attract to another kid, they'll play. They just because their energies are saying, hey, let's play, you're my friend, they become friends right away. There's none of this stuff. We're taught these things, and unfortunately we're taught these things from society, but we're taught these things in the home as well. And meaning to a point, you're like, oh, don't hang out with that person because that person, I don't agree with what they do, and whatever it may be, whatever differences that you have, we're taught to segregate, attract to the like side. What I feel that you should, and we're taught this as from parents a lot of times, we kind of portray or put out what we hope our child will be around or hang around, who they choose to hang out with. But we have a part to do with that. And unfortunately, like we're taught those things, and we're taught as kids and as adults to hold these emotions in. Don't put these things out, especially for men. If you cry or you're weak or you don't, you're just a weak male. And I've like I said, I've been in overseas and in the military, and as masculine stuff that you can do, I've done it, and I've done it for a long time, and I feel like I'm more complete of a person. I'm at peace now because I've tapped into my divine feminine, and I try to portray that love more. And and by me doing that, that's helped me work with my energy and to help others during my healing energies and things like that, and my healing sessions that I do for people. Because I can come from a heartfelt place now and not just like you said, I put the smile on and I'm good, but I'm not good inside. And I have to make sure that it starts with you. And I understand, we've talked about this so many times, but I just, that message is important. That spirit wants to say it has to start with you. You have to open yourself up, and men will start to talk. And I appreciate it. As things tap in, they just have to find somebody like what Jason mentioned, somebody that they resonate with, maybe a friend, may not be a wife, maybe a brother, and maybe someone that's not in their close quarters that they can relate to or talk with. And once they start to kind of open up, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of times that men will talk about things behind closed doors with other men that women wouldn't think that men talk about. You know what I mean? It may be some machismo stuff, and it may not be as machismo as you think sometimes. So,
Yeah.
and we're hurt too. But when you can relate to it, I feel you, bro. I feel you. This happened to me, and we can relate, and that helps the ego part of our brain and ourself to say, okay, that makes some sense. I'm not alone. So they will open up. It will take some time because we're taught to not do that. So we're breaking these cycles, as you mentioned. We're here to break cycles. So thank you, Pamela, for opening up. I mean, just that's amazing for you guys. I always feel the love every time I'm in the chat, and it's amazing. So
That is a very good question. I don't think I want to leave this question yet because I think it's important. I know we only have I think last time I checked it's 80% female, and then we have that 19% male. So we're increasing, Jason. And then we have that 1% troll, 1,000%. But I don't see any trolls in the show tonight. Our vibration is too high for the trolls to come in. I do want to say this. I think you said it, and this is a pretty big point. How we kind of learn these kind of rules or kind of regulations inside the home or in the family. And you're right. This my spirit's telling me, how could all right? This is just me being full transparent. So everyone knows I didn't have a dad. Me is just me, my mom, and my sister. Okay, and yeah, having a lot of burden on me, whether it be schoolwork or sports, or how can I tell my mom who is working basically 12-hour days, trying to put food on the table, paying the mortgage, paying the rent for the shop. How can I tell my mom what I'm going through? So I internalized everything. How can I tell my mom of the problems that I'm having when she is working and struggling, has enough on her own plate? I didn't let any of that go. I internalized everything. I didn't trust anybody. I internalized everything. And I'm breaking that cycle now. I am breaking that cycle. I am no longer internalizing everything. It is a process. It's not happening overnight,
Sure.
but it is a process. I know it's a weakness of mine that I have to work on. And that is what I am going to be currently doing. Jay, also, the next affirmation, he says, be honest with yourself. The next affirmation should be honest with yourself. And you're right. That's a weakness of mine, is internalizing everything. I'm being honest with myself. I need to fix it. Otherwise, the cycle will continue to repeat itself. And what we're doing is breaking cycles. 1,000%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to be honest with yourself. We can defeat ourselves or we can fake the funk, or the whole saying, fake it till you make it. That only works part of the time, or it might work sometimes for you, but to get to the end point of where you want it to go, you can't fake it. You have to put that work in. You have to keep your feet moving, is what I see. Boots on the ground, and they're moving forward. In order to do that, you have to be honest with yourself. Don't self defeat yourself. Don't put yourself into a sense of false um, grandeur and all this. Oh yeah, I'm good. I know. I always make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. Those types of things, because that's actually it will be hindrance to you as you move forward. So be honest with yourself, and that's part of my thing. I used to be okay. So another thing I'm just going to open up and share with everybody is I portray myself as somebody who's very confident in a lot of things, because I just always have been, and my ego has served me well. But on the inside, I always had this little whimpering boy, a young boy, that was in the corner whimpering to himself, like, I don't know what to do, or what do I do? How do I do these things? Am I good enough for the people around me? Am I good enough for myself? Those are things that in reality, I'm puffing my chest up, and I'm my chin is up, and I'm standing straight, and I'm standing tall and looking good. Ought to be in Hollywood, is what they used to say in the military, even though Hollywood is bad. But it's the fact of, you just stand tall and be in your own right. But I did that, and a lot of times I'm actually grateful for this now, that I don't have to do that anymore. I honestly, the more I share with others, I feel that people relate the more to me when I'm sharing these things with people, instead of sharing a, a false bravado of myself, which isn't really how I feel on the inside. So when the inside matches the outside, the love you and the stuff you get in return is exactly what you're putting out. And it's so amazing that this is opening me up to a lot of things, and you've opened up a lot for me. And I honestly was going to ask you, since, what things have you noticed for yourself that have changed for you since you started to work on yourself? I mean, or things that you used to do, like, as far as if you've changed your routine, like how you prayed, or I feel like you're very, like I said, everyone has their own set of things that they do or did. Has any of that changed at all? And have you, since you've opened up and releasing these things, I know you mentioned a little bit earlier, but what changes have you noticed personally of not only yourself, but of the people around you that are close to you. That's kind of what I want to know your specific. I don't think anyone asks you enough questions. And I honestly want to ask Kristen some questions too one of these times. I want to interview her because I feel she's the one always giving information to everybody. And I feel like there's some things that maybe Kristen would like to speak on her own about. And I feel like that's something that will come along the line. But we all have a story we'd like to speak and talk about. And that's why I was wanting to know a little bit more about what has changed for you and what you do and where you are today. Just kind of your growth is what I would like to know. How you feel inside, how your growth has gone.
Right. That's a great question. Thanks. Thanks for asking and putting me on the spot. I love it. But I'm going to be fully transparent here. So, as a psychologist, my job is to study behavior. It's human behavior and the brain. And I needed to take a step back and kind of take note of what my day looked like.
Mm.
My day looked like. It was a lot of social media. This is in the past, right? Getting into like little bickering, like little like truther said this, truther said that.
Mm.
I looked at my diet, like what I was eating. Goodness gracious, I have a sweet tooth, but goodness gracious, Jason, this has got to stop. It's got to stop. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
I looked at all the different areas in my life. Same with you. I traveled 2 hours. Well, it was 2 hours, like the full like one way there, one way back. So it was 2 hours round trip when I lived in my old place. And that takes a toll on you. That takes a toll on you. I did that for about 5 years. Now I moved closer to work. I still visit my mom, but I live closer to work, about like 12 minutes away. I don't have to take the freeway. That has taken a lot of stress off of me. I was looking at ways to take away stress. Okay. Big picture. Because I already have enough stress in my life. I don't need more. How can I take away stress? That was number one. I was carrying a lot of other people's stress. And what you said about you cannot fix people. That's my problem. I want to fix people. I can't. I can't fix people.
Right.
How could I fix someone if I'm broken myself? So I had to fix myself. And then I have to come into terms. I want to help people so bad, but I can't fix them. I cannot fix them. Then I looked into the law of attraction, and like vibration attracts like vibration. You want those people to meet you up at the top, and if the universe does, if they do the inner work, they will. And I'm at peace with that. I have found myself, and then with the whole, I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm just gonna. I am gonna get into detail, but about work. Okay, about the whole when the shutdown happened. The employers don't care about you. They don't care about you. So why am I stressing so much about work? Why am I stressing about so much work? Oh, you're gonna mandate us to get some sort of
Poison.
to work.
Mm.
And if I don't, I'm not gonna have my job.
Right.
That shows you exactly how much they care about you. Okay.
Right.
I care about the kids. I care about the kids. The bureaucracy, the politics, the bureaucrats, those that make the rules. I could care less. I'm there for the kids, 1,000%. That's number one. Cutting out the stress and finding out what's important to you. That's number two. Number three, the forgiving of myself, and all the failures. Okay, or even like let's back it up a little bit. The failures of my father should not be on top of me. And that's what you and I were talking about. I did not want to become my dad. I did not want to, I'm going to call my dad. I did not want to be like him. We'll just say that. That was a lot of stress on me too. Okay. So I had to forgive myself, forgive others, and then walk in the light. And I see myself being more calm. I'm focused on my daughter. I'm focusing on loving others, of course. I'm focusing on the soul tribe and my inner work. And the universe will bring the people into my life that the universe wants to bring into my life. And he will cut off the people that want to be cut off. That's no longer serve me or bring me down or try to deviate me from my path. And I have faith in that. I do. I have trust in that for sure, 1,000%. So as far as kind of like routines or praying, I want to tell you that the session that I had with you kind of opened my eyes. I had to go back to my roots. a lot of worship music, a lot of singing. Even I'm not listening to worship music 24/7, but it is in my playlist. Songs that raise my vibration. That's why I asked for all the different songs when we do our general readings, or when Kristen does the general reading, because all those songs, I want to, man, that's a good song. That's a great song. Why am I listening to all this junk? You know,
Right.
going back, nutrition, 1,000%. We're gonna have Lance again on Sunday, and I don't think that there is a coincidence that once I started changing my nutrition, it's now my body, my mind is allowing me to do the things I need to do that inner work on myself. Nutrition, very important. Also, the exercise. The exercising, I'm telling you, I know it's about self-esteem. Um, I'm telling you, it's all correlated. Nutrition, exercise, having your different avenues to vent and to open up and to speak, and to not have that fear of judgment. I think a lot of people are like, oh, they're gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, they're gonna think I'm stupid. Oh, they're gonna think I'm who
Right.
cares? Really, I
Exactly.
really don't care anymore. I think that's another thing to get out of my way. I stopped caring what people think. I really do. I stopped caring what people think about me, and I love it. I love myself. There it is. I love myself. And if you don't love me, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Wow.
And then the journaling. Okay. Everyone, I mean, not everyone, but people that know me, yes, I'm a good writer. I am gonna say that. I am a little conceited, but I'm right. I'm a good writer. I will just leave it at that. The journaling of the dreams, the affirmations are huge. The affirmations are huge when before I go to bed, before I go to work and wake up. The affirmations, I continue to say those through the day. And if I get triggered, because it happens, like I work with people that are a little crazy, if you know what I mean. But the
Sure.
affirmations, the affirmations throughout the day, and those will change your brain, and those will change the different neural pathways on your behavior, because what you said, your mind, your thoughts, your words, your actions. Change it up here first. Change your words, your actions, and the world around you is going to change. I would have never thought 1 year from last year till today, I would be having this transformation, speaking with Jason Ramirez, having the Soul Tribe channel, working with my sister. I would have never have thought that in a million years. And I absolutely cannot wait to where this spiritual transformation is going to be taking not only myself, my sister, you, and the Soul Tribe together. I cannot wait to see what manifests from all of this high vibration. I love it.
It's gonna be amazing. I've seen. So when I tell like the Soul Tribe, I even try to say it in the chat as well. You know, is don't focus on the when. Like all these people, like, oh, I understand we're having problems. People have lost jobs. People have lost homes. People have lost family members because of their journeys. Either they took a poison or they don't agree with what you are. There's a reason for that. Um, and when we actually are when we don't know understand is how powerful, like you said, we are. I mean, that's like what Gypsy Mama just said. We are very powerful. So when we continue to have this mentality, like you said, you know, the self-defeating, the doubts, and not worrying about what other people. When I stop giving a crap, I know it's a word. When I stop caring, and I mentioned that earlier in our chat, I just stopped. I was done. I did not give two shits about what anybody said about me or talked. I don't care because that's you. That's you. That's your journey, man, not mine. You know, and if you want to continue to push your hate, okay, push your hate. I don't care. I'm going to walk over this way and I'm going to be good. So once I started having that own self, like just be proud of yourself. And like you said, I've told myself, I don't ever remember telling myself I love myself ever until this transformation for me. And I make it a point to say, I love you. And I'm talking to myself, I love you. I tell my higher self, thank you for the beautiful things you've already done for me that are coming to me now. So they already have lived this path, the higher self of you. So everything, you're just catching up to where they are. And And that's the thing, is I always thank them, and I throughout the day I thank my higher self as well. I'm like, thank you for these beautiful things that you've done and you brought into my life. And we're meant to be together, all of us, and that's a true story. All this, the soul tribe, the more of us, as I mentioned before, the more of us together that shine our light, the more light there is, there's less room for the darkness in our entire existence. So shine your light, shine your light, shine your light.
I love it, Jason. I really do. Man, we were only gonna go on for an hour. We're pushing almost 2 hours. We have
Yeah.
about an hour and 50 minutes, but we're doing good. I do want to. I think we have maybe one or two more questions. The Sigma, thank you so much for the super sticker. Love and light to you, 1,000%. The I think I called it a green moss bracelet, but the actual term is a moss agate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Same
So
one, bro.
yes, Harley Ray crystals. Yes, go to the link is going to be in the description box. Harley Ray, we absolutely love it. We love you too. Yes, they also have divine feminine and masculine energy candles for Soul Tribe. They brought me one of each, and I love it.
So if any of you are needing, okay, so I'm just going to talk to you about a little bit about your energy session, and I've done one for Kristen as well, and I've seen dramatic improvements in both of your energies and both of the things that you guys are able to let go. I've also done one for Jay, and I didn't do a full session with Jay. I just sent him healing energy, and the thing he told me earlier today, besides the people who've talked to me as of the Soul Tribe members that I've touched with my healing energies, they've told me, like, the stuff that they've told me just blows my mind, because it's so similar in each one of these sessions. And I had somebody even today tell me, I was a skeptic coming into this, never had any energy healings or anything along that line. I'm a skeptic, but at the end, she goes, I came in, I had something wrong with my throat, and when I was done with your session, my throat is clear. I feel good. I feel better, and that's from a distance. And I even say these to these people, and like, when do I do another one? I don't sell services to people. I tell them, my response is always, when your spirit guides or you feel compelled that you need to come back or want to come back, the universe will put you with me. And I've always been that way, because people don't believe. They think this is mumbo jumbo, these things. Oh, because they don't give you a pill. You didn't go to a doctor with wearing a white coat that probably got D's in school anyway, and it's the fact of this. We're taught that there's only certain things. They've done away with these energy healings and the alternative medicines, as they call it, the herbs and the crystals, and because that stuff is more effective than the stuff that they're forcing down. And I'm a retired nurse and retired X-ray tech as well, so I've been around the medical field. I've been an administrator in hospitals and things like that, so I know, like you mentioned, employers don't care. The medical system doesn't care. You're a number. And that was one thing that I always used to bother me when I was administrator. They used to hate me because I would speak my truth. I'm like, this doesn't seem right to me. This seems illegal to me. This doesn't seem like this is the best interest. And then it was always a problem. And I was always like the squeaky wheel, because I saw things were not right. And after I found out the things that even more in depth, now I always knew something wasn't right. But after I found this information out within the last few years, I'm like, wow. And some of us are in these environments, and I feel that Spirit wants me to say this, is some of us are put in these environments for a reason, because there's darkness around this. So even if you feel like you're around dark people, you're in a dark household, you're in a dark job, or around dark people at your job, or the job you have just is very low, or there's a reason why the universe and God put you there. And it's not only to is part of your journey, but you as a light worker, even though you may not feel it as you're a light worker, you are shining your light in a dark place. And that's the reason why we've been spread out all over the globe, and we're finally starting to find each other, like raising our, ooh, I'm here now. And then we're starting to see each other now in this vast world that we live in. And we're all finding out that, you know what? We are together. We are coming together. And this soul tribe is growing and growing and growing. Just wait. Just wait until we're in the millions. Millions. And it's coming. So It's coming. So I tell people, don't focus on the when. The when. It hasn't happened yet. I lost my house. I lost my job because of this poison they're pushing on us. Like you mentioned, whatever. I know we're all battling our own ways. And the when, this isn't happening fast enough. This hasn't happened fast enough. And like I said, what that does is that's almost like the regret or the what if. That's that same scenario. That's a self-defeating thought, because when it doesn't happen, when you feel it is, or when somebody tells you it's going to happen and it doesn't, what does that do? You get disappointed. You have expectations that aren't met.
Right.
So live your present, and it will happen as it's meant to happen in the time it's meant to happen in. And it won't happen a second before or a second after. And don't focus on that. Just focus on the beautiful things you have. We all have beautiful things around us that we can be thankful for. Find one thing at least in your heart center, and you keep that in your heart center that you love. And when you visualize these affirmations, you keep that love and that feeling in your heart that brought you such joy. That way you're emoting these affirmations with love from your heart center, because you pulled that love in. So that's where it starts. Don't focus on the when. It will happen. I've seen the victory. I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen the future when it comes to that. And I can't tell you specifically how it's going to work out for every person, but I've seen beautiful, beautiful, peaceful world where people are coming out of their homes and having communities again. Community grow like food, community farm stands and community projects and humanitarian things is together, because together we are way more powerful than we are individually. And that's where it starts. I see that. I've seen this. I see we're not going to have to worry about starving anymore. I've seen people are not going to have to worry about where they're going to live. And the hamster wheel we've been on, there's no longer going to be that hamster wheel. We're going to transition out of that hamster wheel. And we're all going to be on an even plane like we were meant to be in the first place. And that's when we're going to be able to live from our heart instead of the ego that says, I got to get this done, this done, this done in order to be considered successful in my life. Not anymore. We're changing that. We're breaking those cycles. And that's what we're here for. Not an easy task by any means. It's going to take a lot of fortitude, and a lot of just staying strong and staying in your center. And you don't let people derail your center. You stay down that line, and you will be successful. You will be at the end of the light with open arms and hugging everyone, because that's what you're going to receive in return. Love and beauty. So it's coming. It's coming. I promise you. I know it is. President Trump in my dreams has told me this. So and that's a very prophetic dream that I have. And I felt like I was hugging God after he told me that. Not saying Trump is God, but he's not. But he is divinely connected in some way with on this plane in this timeline. And he told me this. He told me specifically, things are changing. They just don't know it yet. That's everyone that was around, not just me. They just don't know it yet. He's telling me personally, they just don't know it yet. And we're finding this out now as we move along.
I agree. I agree 1,000%, because I had a very similar dream. You were in it, Mr. T was in it, and he said, "Well done," meaning like it's over. Well done. We won.
Exactly. Victory.
I love it, Jason.
Actually, like this, a V. I don't know how to do it. A V.
Man, Kelsey says that this talk has been so encouraging. Thank you, Jason and the Soul Tribe. I think that last message that you ended with was probably the best time to maybe wrap up the show with that message.
Sounds awesome, man.
I did share the Soldier of Light. Guys, go follow him in the on YouTube. I just shared the link again in the chat for his YouTube channel. Guys, follow him 1,000%. All of his information will be there. Guys, if you want to have a personal reading done, today was a little bit of a different show. It was just Jason and Jason, the Soldiers of Light, sharing our hearts and what's been on our minds, and opening up a little bit. If you say these 2 hours flew by so fast. But if you guys want a personal reading, Kristen will be back. Don't worry. She will be back. She's back in California. She'll be back. on Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you want a personal reading done by Kristen, the description, the information is going to be in the description. Guys, go to arcanashores11.com for a personal reading with Kristen, 1 full hour, FaceTime, Zoom, or over the phone. That's arcanashores11.com. Yes, I cannot get enough of this. We need, like I said, Jason, we keep on saying, like, man, we got to do this. We got to do this. And then, like, it was like yesterday, I was like, brother, do you want to go on a show and do a show? And like, yeah, let's do it. We're ready. And it's like, yeah, let's do it. The Soul Tribe needs to find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everyone, I'm gonna end the show. I'm not gonna end the show. We'll see how it goes. But I do want to say those affirmations, how important those affirmations are. I am loved, I am protected, I am forgiven, and I am of the light. My new ones that I'm adding into are I am righteousness. We have the God gene. We are created by the Creator. I am righteousness. I am free. I'm alive. And I'm activated. And we're activating the Soul Tribe 1,000%. All of us together. Brother, do you have any closing words? And then I'll wrap up the show.
I do. I just want to say thank you to Kristen. I know that this is something that was different, and doing this type of format today without her on the show. She's amazing. I just want to say thank you, sis, for letting me come on the show and have this opportunity to speak with everyone. And she's, like I said, she's very gifted when it comes to her readings. So I definitely recommend her for, if you haven't already. She's got a waiting list for a reason, is because she is that good when it comes to these things. So continue to support her as you guys have. And thank you for the support you've given me, and to Jason and to Jay and to the moderators. You guys are amazing. Laura, Chrissy, Aspiring Alchemist, Wendy Day. I mean, all you guys that we're just crushing these trolls left and right, and making sure that the vibrational level doesn't go down in our chat. So you guys are all amazing, and I just want to say thank you guys for your support, and hopefully I get to see some of you guys on my channel as well. And just keep your eye out on some of these things. I'm going to be doing some more videos with people as I move forward as well, on some crazy things that people may want to hear. So thank you guys.
All right, Soul Tribe. Until Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, it's going to be love and light from me to you guys, 1,000%. And love and light from me to you, Kristen. I'm glad you're back in California. I love it. I'm pumped.
Awesome.
I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you, Jason. I love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Soul Tribe family, until Sunday, love and light to you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.